Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? How you all doing today? All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. How you guys doing today on this beautiful evening? Thank you guys for being here. Shout out to each and every one of you. Shout out to all the hardworking people. Shout out to all the people out there who doing what they gotta do. Shout out to all the doctors. Shout out to all the nurse. Shout out to all the law enforcement. Shout out to everyone out there who doing something positive, man. Shout out to each and every one. Shout out to all the mom and dad. Shout out to all the single parents. Just shout out to everyone out there who doing their thing, man. All right, guys. So this is we basically talk about gardening for a lot, and we also gonna talk about gardening, but we also gonna tie everything into one on different topics. All right. I want to say shout out to all the gardeners out there. Shout out to all the gardeners out there who putting in the work. Shout out to all the people who just trying to make things work in this difficult time. Shout out to all the people out there who going through the struggle, who lose their home from the storm in different places, in the island, in the US, wherever you are and you went through the storm. Shout out to you guys. I know it's not easy, and I know it's not gonna be an easy recovery because sometimes when you lose everything you got, it's not easy to start over. It's not easy to start over, and in life, nothing is promising to us. The only thing is promising to us is that one day we're gonna leave this body. That's the only thing is promising to us. Other things, material things, is not promising to us because we could have it all today and a storm could come and crumble everything and we lose it all. So I just want to say, man, my heart goes out to all the people out there who went through the storm. You could have heard the cry. So you see a lot of videos where you could hear the cry. You could hear the children in pain, crying, asking their mom to promise them that they're not going to pass. They will be able to see another day. It's not easy to have to hear your child telling you things like that. It's not easy. And I did a live the other day where I was talking about prepping and where we got to think about prepping now. We got to think more deeper about prepping because prepping is something we all want to do because we want to make sure that our family have food and a shelter over their head. We also want to make sure that there's searchlight. Hey, Sam Gifted Hands, how you doing? What's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Shout out to you. Shout out to Sam Gifted Hand. Good to see you, sis. All right. Yes, sis. Man, listen to me, man. Nothing is promising to us at all. Because when I look and I see the torment that these people went through in Union Island, in Texas, in different places, Grenada, Barbados, Trinidad, Jamaica, all these places that this storm went through and crushed. I mean, you know, I was speaking to someone and it was so devastated because the person was telling me that there's people who actually lose their home and have nowhere to go and just sitting outside under a tree. Could you imagine? Could you imagine after having your home, your house, you living comfortable, you all right, everything is okay, and a storm come and change your whole life. So what I'm saying is nothing is promising to us. The only thing is promising to us is when is we have to leave this body that we in. That's the only thing it's promising to us. Nothing else is promising. I'm doing great. I always watch you. I'm busy packing a big box for the shelter from funds I received from YouTube payment. I'm pretty drained. Oh wow. Oh, that's wonderful, Sam. That's wonderful. Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you for watching. Appreciate that. Wow. Hey, Lashos, how you doing? Thank you for being here. What's going on? Yes. Well, that's wonderful, Sam, as you trying to do your best and you doing what you got to do. I myself trying to put some stuff together to send because, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I see the pain. I see the struggle. I see the cry. It's not easy. You don't wish this on no one. You don't wish this type of pain on no one. You know, I'm looking at some story, I'm looking at some videos, and I'm listening people talking, right? And there was a lady went in a shelter. She says she went in a shelter, and while she in the shelter, the roof blows off, and she and her child, she and her family, she and her family went in a small bathroom because that's the only place the roof did not blow off from, the small bathroom. And she and her family went into that bathroom and they had was to hold on the door. And that's where this, oh man, the roof never blow off from the bathroom. And she and her family stays in that. I mean, could you imagine? Could you imagine as you, as the protector of your family? Could you imagine that? You are the protector. Your children depending on you to protect them, to make sure they're okay. And times like these comes where you just helpless. In some cases, you become helpless where you cannot even help. And you just trying. Oh my gosh, that is some serious time. Yes, Sam. That's true. It's hard to lose your home. Listen, your home. Yes, it definitely. Your home is all you have. Remember, your home is something you invest into for a lifetime. Your home is something you invest into for a lifetime. Some people start from scratch. Some people build, some people add on. You take what I'm saying? So it's like a lifetime. You've been prepping for this home. And one day you lose it all. One day. When you look, you know, I mean, there's a lot of children who are very strong and who could go through a lot of things and able to pull through. But this type of stuff could traumatize. Oh my goodness. These type of stuff could traumatize these little kids. If listen to me, I was listening to a guy. A guy was talking From Union Island, yes, from Union Island in St. Vincent. He stated that he will never want to experience something like that again. He said if the storm coming north, he going south. If they going northwest, you understand? Because why? He said he hear everything. He said, you know what he said? He said the storm is worse than the devil. Could you imagine the torment that these people was going through? I can't imagine. I'm sorry. I can't imagine because I wasn't there. And if you wasn't there, you can't imagine either. You only could sit back and say, "Oh, yes, I have an understanding of what you went through." But you cannot imagine what these people went through. Could you imagine in the night that this wind been ponging and beating for hours, and all you praying is for the roof in fall out, blow off, or the house in collapse? Because some people was in the basement. Some people say they was in the basement, and they were so worried because they scared that the house could collapse and cover them up. So at the end of the day, guys, my heart goes out to the people everywhere that went through this storm. My heart goes out to them because it's not easy. It's not easy. And I cannot say how they was feel because I wasn't there. I'm just watching the videos them, and the videos them giving me an insight of how the people, the way, some people cry out, there's no food. We have no food. I have nothing. I've lost everything. Could you imagine? Could you imagine everything you work for all your life? You lose it all in hours. And at the end of the day, when you have a family, it's different. When you have children, it's different. You can do whatever, but once you have children that looks up to you, it's a whole different ball game. So it might happen to these are things we gotta look out for, because sometimes it mightn't hit you, right? But it hits someone else. And sometimes it mightn't be a storm hit you. It could be an earthquake. Yes, Lashos, very sad, very sad, very sad. Sometimes it can be an earthquake hit you. It could be anything hit you. It ain't got to be a storm. But this is why in life sometimes we just got to be humble, be humble, because ain't a thing promising to us. But one day we're gonna be going back. I didn't see, I I didn't see one from you. Oh. You know what, Lashos? I'm gonna do that as soon as I come off of this live. I'm gonna email you. I ain't gonna lie, I was really, really busy. But yes, I'm gonna definitely email you as soon as I come off from this live. All right? Yes. So, guys, it's very disturbing. It's very disturbing to see the cry of the children. It's not easy to see children crying. And a lot of these people lose everything they have. The whole house collapse. Everything blow out the house. Some people just lose their house roof. And there are certain places that almost everything damage. Certain place almost everything damage. Okay, Lashos. Okay, yes. No, I didn't send it as yet. But I'm gonna do that as soon as I come off. All right? Yes. So when I see the cry of the children, that's hurts. Because a lot of these children gotta grow up remembering this torment. And if you ain't strong, it can break you. It can traumatize you for a lifetime. If you ain't strong, it can traumatize the kids for a lifetime. So what I can say, man, my prayers goes out to all the people everywhere that went through this struggle and this storm. I don't wish this on anyone. And we just talk about prepping, but now we got to look at prepping on another level now, because sometimes you could prep and still lose everything. Because put it this way, say for instance you was prepping for months. Yes, that's just, yes. Gotta pray for people. Yes. Sometimes you could be prepping for months, right? Say for instance we prep for months. We buy all different type of stuff. We buy Kangoo, we buy Searchlight, we buy all kind of stuff. And put it in our house. And the storm come and blow everything away. So it's wise now that people can start to think how to prep besides in their house. Think how to prep besides in your house. Yes, we can bury stuff. That's another way. You could build something and bury something, bury stuff. That's another way you can save, you can prep, but that's not guaranteed either, because an earthquake could come and you lose it. But you can't think like that. You just don't want to put everything in one basket. You see what I'm saying? You want to make sure you're prepping, but you're not going to put everything in one place. You're going to put them in different places. So in case this one, you lose this one, you stand a chance of getting the other. So this is how we got to start thinking now. We got to start thinking about prepping, but we cannot put everything in one place. It's not easy. It's not easy. And even though they might get help, how much help they're gonna get, especially when you lose your home, how much help you will able to get. Stuff like these take years to recover from. It can take years to recover from. 10 years, 15 years to recover, depending on where you are. So it's not easy. But I just want to say shout out to all the people who went through that storm and still standing today, still making it happen, still doing what they're doing, still try to pick what you can pick and try to put a shelter over your head because you got to do what you got to do. Some people didn't even leave because there's places like the certain islands where they have sister islands hang out in the water. So it's just the water surround them, small little islands surround them, but then belongs to this big island in the mainland. So some people refuse to leave to go to the mainland to shelter. Why? Because they're looking at it as, why will I go? Why will I go and then come back to what? So a lot of people, what they do, some people, they send their family, like the man might send his family to go to the mainland for shelter and he stay back and try to see what he could pick up. Because at the end of the day, some people say they don't have no family in the mainland. So even though you go up there for shelter, at the end of the day, you still will have to come back. So when you come back, what are you coming back to? So a lot of people decide, no, I'm going to stay and I'm going to try to pick and see what I can do and try to get at least a roof over your head, which is a very smart thing to do. Because even though you get help, how much help you going to get? How much help you going to get? Is only so much help you could get. So you have to help yourself in this type of situation. So prepping is important, but we have to think about prepping now. How are we prepping and where are we storing and what are we prepping? Because you could prep and you could lose it all still. You see, because people, when a storm come and blow down your whole house, blow everything out the house, take off the roof, you lose everything. All the stuff you prep, you lose. All the stuff you put together, you lose. So you got to figure out how you prepping now and where you prepping, what you prepping, and put it together. Don't put everything in one place. Because if you put everything in one place, you could lose it all. All right. So hey guys, how you doing today? Thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. Thank you all so much. Yes. Now, when we look at, let's go this way, right? When we look at what we see happening these days, when we look at what we see happening these days, it's like nothing is impossible these days. You know, in when you're growing up, things used to seem impossible. But now nothing is impossible. You see what I'm saying? Nothing is impossible. It's like anything can happen these days. So what we got to do, we got to stay with a positive mind. Always try to focus on people. Wish the best for people. Because in times like this, send out a positive energy to these people that these people could actually feel some comfort because this is definitely not time. I'm hoping that the things them that people sending for these people, I'm hoping that they could receive them. I'm hoping that they could get the help that they need. I'm hoping that there's no greed going on in this. I'm hoping that people can receive things that was sent for to help them because sometimes people don't really get in crises like these. Sometimes you don't really, you hear a lot of story. Allegedly, I wasn't there, I never there, so I can't say. But allegedly, we hear a lot of story where sometimes People donate, people send barrel, people send clothes, people send, and a certain people collect them and only certain people receiving them. So I'm hoping in cases like these, the people who need the help can receive the help and not the no greed. I hope there is no greed. I'm hoping that who really need help receive the help because this is not easy to recover from. This is not easy to bounce back from. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming to. All right. Yes. Yes, guys. So, what I'm saying is, I'm hoping that the people who receiving these things can donate them and let the people who deserve them and who need them able to get them. All right. Yes. So let's move on to another topic now. Well, let's talk a little about gardening now. And yes, let's talk a little about gardening. You know, today I see the strangest thing in garden. This is why I keep saying every day, if you have an open mind, every day you go into the garden, you're gonna learn something or you're gonna see something different. I post a video not too long ago where there's a caterpillar, big caterpillar, was eating down some of my plants, some of the leaf. And you know what attack it? And this is one of the strangest thing I ever see. You know what attack it? Yes, Sam, I hope so too. Yes, yes, because people deserve to receive these things. And there's a lot of greedy people out there that's, you know how it works. So I'm just praying and hoping that people actually receive the stuff that's sent for them. Yes. Yes, guys. So it was so strange to me that the caterpillar was eating down my plant. And what attacked it? A ladybug. A ladybug attacked the caterpillar. Is what the strangest thing I ever see when come on gardening. A caterpillar, a ladybug, latch on the caterpillar face, right up by the face, and refuse to let go. It refused to let go. That is one of the strangest thing I ever see doing gardening. And you guys could check it out. You guys could check it out. So sometimes when we believe that ladybug is a problem, ladybug actually helps protects our garden. When we believe ladybug is a problem, ladybugs actually helping us protect our garden. And that video, what I saw with my eyes today, gave me a confirmation. What I saw gave me a confirmation that ladybugs in your garden is a good thing to have. If you see ladybug walking around, they might eat a few leaves. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that few leaves they eat. They actually, it's better for the ladybug eat a few leaves than a caterpillar spend 2 days in that plant because the caterpillar gonna eat down everything. You see what I'm saying? So the ladybug shows me today that how important it is to have ladybug in your garden. Very important, guys. This is one of the strangest thing I ever see. I always heard that ladybug help protect your garden. But today, with my bare eyes, I saw for myself a ladybug's natural on a big caterpillar and battle with it that it not gonna able to eat up my plants. Ain't that a blessing? Ain't that a blessing? Yes. So now, guys, this is the heart of garden season. This is the heart of garden season, and what I'm doing now, I'm actually trying to get some of my pumpkin pollinated. Why I'm trying to get some of my pumpkin pollinated? Because I've realized a lot of my pumpkin is pushing out the female flowers and the male flowers, and what is happening? I'm not seeing much bees. So the bees them is not there to help pollinate my garden. Hey, my journey to success, how you doing? Thank you for being here. What's going on? All right, thank you for being a member. All right, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Yes. So when we talk about the ladybugs, when we talk about the bees, all these things is so beneficial in our garden. And if we notice, well, me, when I notice today, what I'm noticing, I'm actually noticing that we're not seeing much bees, we're not seeing much butterfly, we're not seeing much of these things these days. This is why I try to grow in natural garden, because if I grow in natural garden, it's gonna become eco-friendly, meaning what I'm using is not gonna harm the bees, is not gonna harm the butterfly, is not gonna harm none of these insects that we need in our garden to pollinate our garden. The pollination process is very serious. When you look, if you don't know how to hand pollinate, right? If you don't know how to hand pollinate, you could lose a lot of food during the garden season. I had was to walk around and hand pollinate squash, hand pollinate pumpkin, hand pollinate almost everything, because there's the pollen. I used to seeing bees everywhere. I used to see butterfly everywhere. I used to see bees early in the spring in your yard, in the flowers, in the dandelion, in them type of herbs. I used to see that. Now you barely seeing bees. What what I saw this year, what I saw this year, and it was very invasive this year. What I saw was some bugs looking like beetles. They're looking like, and they is not pollinators. They is not pollinators. They're eating everything on your plant. All the flowers, they're eating everything. So they're not actually pollinators. Pollinators comes around and they do what they gotta do, and while they're doing what they gotta do, the male and they interact with the female, and you get pollination in that process. But these beetles was on a mango tree for me. I had a mango tree, and they was on the mango tree, and they was, I'm watching them, right? I'm looking at them, and they come in a pack. They full up the whole mango tree. And while I'm watching, I'm saying, wait, they're not pollinating anything. They're eating everything. Then when I realized, I really realized I'm watching, I said, no, you guys got to get off of this tree. And I start running them off the tree every time I see them. They was eating out all the flowers, everything, just leave the limb bare. So nothing. I was able to deal with them until I only see 3 mangoes, but I'm grateful. I see 3 mango, but I'm grateful. If I wasn't paying attention, they would have eat everything and there would not be nothing at all on the tree. So you seeing things coming that actually instead of they pollinate your garden. Hey Jim Mama Grows, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Instead of they pollinate your garden, they actually eating the plants. So these are things we got to start watch out for, because you watching and you believe it's pollinators and they're not pollinators. They come in numbers, eating off everything off your plant. So these are I is one thing with me. I observe. I observe in my garden. I pay attention. This is why I saw today. I saw this is listen me. This is one of the most amazing thing I see so far in gardening, because I always hear about the ladybugs. I always hear about the ladybugs. Oh yes, the ladybugs is good. It's good to have ladybugs in your garden. I always hear that. I always hear people just buy ladybugs and just let them go in their garden. I always hear that, but I just couldn't understand why. Why would you buy all these ladybugs and just let them go in your garden? Well, I see the full proof for myself today. If you guys have a chance after this video, you could go on my channel Planter Garden TV. You're gonna see I post a video today where a ladybug attack a caterpillar, big one, hold on to its face and refuse to let off. I have a video where the caterpillar raising up. I gotta post a video as well where the caterpillar is naturally raising up and moving back and forth, and that thing wouldn't let go. Remember, these caterpillar will eat off all the leaf off your plant and start eating your food too. They will eat everything. Okay, let me see. Let me see what Jim Mama say. Hold on. I had to run green worms off my all right, yes. Yes, yes, yes. If you don't run them, they will eat down everything you have. Everything, Jim Mama. Yes. So today I saw with my own eyes that the ladybug attacked the caterpillar and just snatch on its face, up to its face here, and refuse to let go. So this is foolproof to me. Ladybugs fight off a lot of unwanted insect onto our garden. When I say unwanted, what I mean, you know what I mean, because when you look at caterpillar, if you allow a caterpillar to be in your garden for a week, if you turn your back on your garden for a week and and caterpillar get up inside there, you'll be shocked how much these things eat. When you come back, all you're gonna see your plants them eat down. They love to eat tomatoes. They love to eat them soft leaf, cabbage, all these type of plant. They love to eat them. They will eat down everything out your garden. So now, when we look at the ladybug, we see the ladybugs walking around, and now I'm getting to understand their purpose in our garden. I'm getting to understand the ladybug purpose in our garden for what I see with my eyes study. Could you imagine a little ladybug? A little ladybug. Could you imagine a little ladybug with a caterpillar actually hold on the face of the caterpillar and would not let go? So it shows me that ladybugs help protect our garden, and this is facts. This ain't no joke. Because if I didn't see them ladybugs, if I didn't see the caterpillar today, the caterpillar would have eat up more my tomato tree. When I look today, tomorrow, it would have eat up all the leaf after tomato. And then it start on the tomato them. So when you see, this is why I don't really run bugs out my garden. I want to see what they do. I want to make sure I see what they're doing before I decide to try to run them. Because I see ladybug and ladybugs help pollinate your garden as well. So I see ladybugs walking around. I see them, but I never bother them because something is telling me they have their purpose in our garden, and then I'm always hearing about it. But today was the day for me to see full proof, full proof, the purpose of a ladybug in our garden. No, don't get me wrong. A ladybug will walk around and it will eat some of your leaf. A ladybug will walk around and it will eat some of your leaf. They love to be on squash leaf. So they will walk around and they will think. You might see a few holes in the leaf, but they will not do as much damage as a caterpillar. They will not do as much damage as a caterpillar. You will see ladybug in your garden for weeks, and all you might see a few plants with a few little holes. But the caterpillar will tear down your garden in a week. So when you think about the whole thing, when you look about the whole thing, this is why we got to be careful of what we try to get rid of. I know we do not love to see the bugs in our garden, but remember, each bugs have their purpose. All right, each bug have their purpose. So when we try to spray and do all this type of stuff, we actually destroying more than we helping. Now, if you notice, the pollinators is getting lesser and lesser every year. I accustomed looking in my squash and see 6, 7 bees in one squash, in one flowers. This is what I used to see. 6, 7 bees in one squash flowers, one flowers. No, you're lucky if you see one. So now you got to get skillful now and you got to start to do hand pollinating. You got to know which one is the male and you got to know which one is the female. So you know how to take the male and you open up the female and you put the male down in there and you dab it up that the pollen can get pan the female, and that's how it works. So you have to learn these things, because if you don't, you will have trees without food, without production. It's happening. It's happening. I'm seeing it before my eyes. I'm seeing squash pushing out flowers. And if you're not there to hand pollinate it, it just dry right up. I'm watching cantaloupe. If they're pushing out flowers, but if you're not there to try to pollinate them, you lose them. They just dry up. So we got to get to skill now. We got to get to the depth of the skill in gardening, because now it start getting where the pollination process was so easy, but now it's getting more difficult now because the actual pollinators is that are wrong. And believe it or not, a lot of us help contribute to it. A lot of us help contribute to it. We have to create a natural, eco-friendly system that helps save, not get rid of them, not run them, help save. So when we save them, them stick around. They help pollinate our food, the earthworms, help enrich our soil. All the bacteria in the soil that we need will remain there, because what we do, we create a eco-friendly system. So everything is working hand in hand. Everything is doing its job. So because everything is doing its job, it become easier for us. Look at it, right? Look at this. Let's draw like a reference here. We building a house, right? We building a house. When you're building a house, you have carpenter, you have mason. Well, that's if you're building a brick house, right? You have, okay, right. We're building a brick house. We have carpenter, we have mason, we have plumbers, we have electrician. We basically have a team of people, right? And in every team, in every group, there's, you have electrician, you have the plumbing, the carpenters, the mason, right? So we have these people. Now, in order for this house to come together and finish and work hand in hand, everybody got to come together and do their job. And once everybody come together and do their job, everything gonna work hand in hand. You see what I'm saying? Everything gonna become easy because everybody is doing their job. The mason is doing their job. The carpenter is doing their job. The plumber is doing their job. Everybody is doing their job. So now it become, that's how the house gonna come and finish the right way. You see, it finished easier and it finished the right way because everybody put their hand and do what they're supposed to do, and now the the house finished. It's the same thing in our garden. If we allow everything to do their job instead of get rid of them, it's gonna create a whole system where everything is working hand in hand. You got to understand, guys. There's thing designed. Remember this. Plants designed to grow in the earth, not in container. We the one who creating a system in the container that these plants can grow. We the one who create that. But plant designed to grow in the earth. But we create a system that these plants can grow in container. Now, when the earth, the garden, when you have the whole ecosystem going on in your garden, these things know where to walk, these things know what need nutrient, these things know because their job, yes, Sam, yes, thank you, sis. Yes, their job is to make sure that this soil is good for the plant. Yeah, and that's their job. You see, when we get rid of them, then we know how to figure out how to get in and do that job. And if you don't know how to do that job, thank you, sis, thank you. If you don't know how to do that job, then your garden you understand, you're gonna fall apart because now the things that's supposed to do that job, which is the earthworms, supposed to do their job, all the bacteria, all the insect, all the parasite in the soil. Because let me tell you something. If you want to see how much bacteria and parasite in a soil, get a microscope. Get a microscope and take up a handful of soil and look inside it, and you will see how much, but see millions inside of that inside of that handful of soil. But you cannot see them with your bare eyes. You see what I'm saying? So all these things work together and create a system in the soil that enrich our soil. So what we need to do, we need to study the things that these things love to work with and add it to the soil. This is why I keep talking about the leaf and the weeds in your garden. You pull them up, you put them in a pile, you allow them to break down, and you add them back in the soil. This is what they feed on. This is what they love. So you give them that. Once you're giving them that, they're gonna do what they gotta do. Each and every one of them gonna do what they gotta do in the soil. That's their job. That's where they live in. They living in the soil. So they what they're gonna do, they're gonna do what they're supposed to do to make sure that your soil is ready. But if we keep spraying all these type of things in our soil, then what we actually doing, we getting rid of these things. So when you get rid of these things out of the soil, then we realize our soil start to get dry. We realize our soil start to get weak. We realize the nutrients out of the soil is start, we're losing all of that. Why you think we're losing it? Because the bacteria, the parasite, all these things that's supposed to be doing this job, we get rid of them. So now our soil start to become dead because the living parasite that's supposed to be in the soil to keep the soil alive, we getting rid of them. And we also getting rid of our pollinators. We also getting rid of our earthworms. Do we understand the benefit of earthworms and pollinators in our soil? Do we understand these things? So yes, I understand, especially for the new gardeners. I understand you might wanna run out there and buy some stuff from the store. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling nobody what to buy. You got to know what you want to buy, but you got to think about gardening in a spiritual level, man, a more pure level. When you doing it, you should do it on a spiritual level because you doing it. You want to make sure you do it the right way. You want to make sure that whatever I plant, I expect to get the full nutrition out of it. The mineral, the fibers. I need everything that I can get because no, when you get these things, what happening? These things is what feeding your body. These things is what help building your immune system. These things is what help building your boost your immune system. This is why many times, man, you want to go for a walk or you want to go for a run, and time as you walk 5 steps, you got to stay and blow. You're tired because sometimes we eating these food, but these food lack of nutrition. It's not really giving us what our body need. It's not really giving us these food supposed to actually be healing our body. Look how much these things supposed to be building your immune system to fight. Because if you have a strong immune system, it help fight bacteria, it help fight virus, it help fight these things because it's strong enough. But if it's weak and these things attack you, there's nothing to fight it. And if there's nothing to fight it, what it gonna do? It will break you down. The problem is we wait until things start happening, and that's when we choose to decide, oh, let me start to use some herbs. Oh, let me try build my immune system. Oh, let me try eat healthy. You see? No, the problem is already there. So if the problem is there, it's hard for these herbs or these nutrients out of the food to work because the problem is already there. You got to prevent the problem. So by preventing the problem, what you do, you work on your immune, you help build your immune system. You try to eat healthy. So let's go back to gardening. No. Let's step back to gardening. No. You gardening. You decide, I'm not going to the store and buy no food. I'm gonna plant my garden. So if you decide, that's you deciding, I'm gonna go to the I'm not going to the store, I'm gonna be planting my food. Why you not going to the store? Because you feel like what you get in there is not, it didn't have the kind of nutrition that your body need, right? So if that's the case, and you decide, okay, I'm going and plant my own food, then why you don't try to grow them a certain way? You have to grow them different. Remember, I'm not knocking the big farmer them, because you got to, these people is growing food for millions of people. And if they're growing food for millions of people, they got to do what they got to do. You see what I'm saying? They will do what they got to do to make sure they're able to provide for millions of people. But on the other hand, if you take it up in your hand and decide you're not doing it because you want to do it in a way that benefit, you can benefit the nutrition out of the food, the fiber, the minerals, all these things out of your food, you cannot grow it the same way. They're growing it because it's like you doing the same thing they're doing. So where is with different results you expect? The same stuff on the shelf, you buying them and you spraying. You see some bugs, you run out to the store and you buy it and you start to spray it on your plant. You see where I'm coming from? No, there's something named companion planting. And companion planting, it helps. I'm not gonna say it work 100%, but what I'll say it helps keep certain bugs out of your garden. You see where I'm coming from? No, when you think about the marigold push off a type of scent that not every bug would like to smell, right? There's a lot of different herbs. You have mint, you have oregano, you have parsley, celery. These type of plant push off a scent that, but if you notice celery and parsley, you don't see bug eating them because they don't really like that taste. That's not what they want. They want your cabbage, they want your tomato, they want them softy leaf, and they will tear them apart. So what I'm saying is, if you decide that you want to grow your food, that your food could give you the right nutrition, the right minerals that your body need to help build your immune system, to help boost that you want to go for a walk. You could go for a walk and feel like, okay, not when you walk up the hill, 5 minutes you start blowing and can't catch your breath. So you have to take time, as I'm just saying, for the people who want a garden, try to do it natural. If you do it natural, it works. If there's anyone up in here who don't know me on YouTube, check out my channel. It will shows you how to grow your food natural without going to the store at all. Because I believe in my health and I believe in my family health. You understand? So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make sure that everybody okay. So what I'll do, I've been growing my food natural for years. For years, and everybody healthy, everybody able to run up and down, everybody, because we all need nutrition. We all need nutrition in our body. Hey guys, don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Double tap on the screen and hit that like button, guys. I will truly appreciate it. Thank you all. Yes, our body need nutrition. You could be let me just explain this. You could be eating all the lettuce in the world. You could be eating all the tomatoes in the world. You could be eating all the cabbage in the world. You could be eating all them good stuff. And it ain't doing anything for your body. Why? Because if they don't grow properly, if they don't grow right, the lack of these nutrition your body need. So you eating the lettuce. Yeah, I'm eating lettuce every day. Yeah, I'm eating salad every day. Yes, but the salad is dead. The salad is lack of nutrients. Fiber. Fiber is very important. You got to go food as well for fiber. It's important to eat food with fiber. I'm not telling you to eat too much, but I'm just saying it's good to eat food with fiber. You need food with nutrition, minerals, all these things is good for our body. No, the way the thing set up for you growing food, but you still gotta go and buy a pill to boost your immune system. You see what I'm saying? You have a garden, you growing your own food. Your job should be doing research and growing the things that can help your body and your family. You see where I'm coming from? Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not trying to knock anyone here, okay? We having a conversation. And if it didn't make sense, you could let me know in the comment section. If what I'm saying ain't make any sense, you could let me know. You could let me know in the comment section. But what I know food you growing, if you growing, no, number one, when you hear I grow, when you hear I harvest pepper, right? I might harvest some pepper out of the garden, and when you put the pepper in the house, in the kitchen, it light up the whole house. All you doing is smelling pepper. It doesn't matter with pepper, if it's hot pepper or sweet pepper. All you do, you smell. All you smelling is pepper. It just light up the whole house. You just go in the supermarket, and there's a bunch. Sometimes you go in a supermarket, right? And there's a bunch of peppers just lying out there, and you ain't smelling one of them. All you seeing is pepper, but you're not smelling anything. You see what I'm saying? You see a bunch of pepper, all different type of pepper, but you're not smelling nothing. But when you grow them pepper in your garden, natural, it light up the whole place. I remember I could never forget this. I was going and ship some pepper for someone. And when I go in the post office, the pepper light up the whole post office. Everyone know you had pepper. It light up the whole place. So it's not just the taste. It's not just the the nutrients, but it's also the smell. The smell it gives, the smell it push off, the strength it in the scent that it push off is just different. If you growing food and you're not growing the food to be your medicine or to help boost your immune system, then I don't know. Food supposed to build your immune system. That's what it's for. Food is not just designed for us to just eat it down. It's designed for helping us, healing us. Then the next thing again, we grow herbs. And I keep saying, if you're growing herbs, grow the herbs natural. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not supposed to throw anything around your herbs. Do you see how your weeds grows up in your garden? Do you see how they grow up flourishing in the spring? Beautiful and healthy in your yard? Do you see these things? They don't need no chemical and these things around them. They want to grow natural. When they grow natural, they're able to preserve themselves and able to grow in the right way. Whether they grow to big monk, whether they grow huge or whether they grow small, don't worry about it. You might want to see them go big, so you run and get some stuff and throw around them. No, you don't need. Just let them be. Let the herbs them be. When you allow them to be themselves, that's when them able to provide what you need for your body, to heal you. You also got to know when to pick these herbs. In the old time, do you know these people know when they watch the moon? They know when to harvest herbs. When the herbs is in their prime of releasing their healing property. You have to know the time of harvest. You got to know the time of planting. Listen to me. Herb is a spiritual thing. I do believe we underestimate herbs, and this is why herb don't work. A lot of herbs do not work because we're not handling them properly. And it might sound crazy. It might sound like, what are you talking about? Okay, let me see. All right. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate it. All right. Take care. All right. Okay. Good night. Yes. Yes, guys. So, herbs is a spiritual thing. And if you don't understand how to plant them, how to take care of them, how to harvest them, you're going to be missing out. This is why I'm telling you, a lot of these herbs don't do anything. This is why you hardly hear people tell you what this herb did for me. Because they're not, the way we growing them, the way we grow them, the way we groom them, the way we harvest them, all this matter. When we harvest them, we got to harvest them on the right moon. When they're in the prime of releasing their healing property. These, this is how it works, guys. This is how it works. We have to understand these things. If we can't understand these things, we will be planting, we will be growing, but we're not going to be reaping the benefit. This is why today there's so much thing going on, so much disease, so much things going on. Think about it. I remember, I remember, right? In the older time, in the older time, yes, I remember in the older time when I'm growing up, I remember my grandmother at a certain time, at a certain time of the moon, that's when she harvests herbs at a certain time because she was like the nurse of the village. So she make her medicine, but she harvests a certain time. But we this information has lost. And why the information has lost is because we become too dependable. We stop being independent. We become dependable. So everything we just pick up and we go on to the place. We should be paying more attention to herbs and their healing benefit. And that is what I focus on. I don't grow any and everything. I only grow certain things. Certain things I grow. Because why I grow certain things, I grow food that gives you fiber, that, you know, release fiber, so you could get fiber from that food. Food that give you nutrition, nutrients. You got to think about what you're planting. You sit down and you think, you research what kind of plant I can grow this year that can help build my immune system. You think about that. I always grow ginger. I always grow turmeric. Cause these good. They help build immune system. But anyhow, guys, remember, this is a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. Okay? Please do your own research. All right? Please do your own research. Yes, guys. But garden season is something, man. So it's a lot to learn on garden. It's a whole lot. And is it's still up to a person and how deep they want to go. Some people just want to grow some food. Some people have no time to go into the depths like how I'm going into the depths here. Some people don't have no time for that. Some people just want to make sure I'm growing some food and that's it. And I'm eating some food and that's it. Which nothing is wrong with that. I understand that. But when come on me, I'm looking for I'm trying to live till I reach 100 years. And within the 100 years, I want to be strong right up. It didn't make sense you live into 100 and then at the same time, you barely could walk go down the street. You see what I'm saying? You want to able for able to walk go down the street by yourself. Not you got to depend on somebody for walk you down the street. So at the end of the day, you don't know how long you will be living, but make it wild because you just never know. You got to think about stuff that help with your memory because the older you get, it can start affect you. You got to. These are the kind of stuff you got to be growing. Stuff to heal your body, not just to eat, because you could eat. Grow things that can heal your body, your mind, your spirit, your soul, everything. So just do some research on different type of plants, do some research on herbs, and I guarantee you, man, start growing these things, and you're gonna see a big change in your life. You know, when we hear about a lot of disease that goes on, hold on. Yes, at the end of the day, man, our health matter to us. And then when we grow, we are children. We want to make sure we're strong enough to take care of our children. We also want to grow up our children healthy. So we got to take our health into our own hand and stop depending on someone else to do it for us. You see what I'm saying? We got to start taking our health in our own hand and stop depending on other people to do it for us. Yes, if you need help, you need help. But at the same time, check it out. In them older days, man, these people didn't have doctors for they have a broken bone. They had also figure that out. They had also figure that out. So where we learning and understanding it's possible. You see what I'm saying? So we cannot rule out these times. We cannot rule out them times gone by and believe it's not possible because it was possible. Yes, today it didn't have as much disease in them time like today. Why? Because of the way they was growing the food and the way they was doing a lot of things and they was more spiritual. They understand the spirituality of everything and the connection of everything and how everything connects and how everything works hand in hand to become one. Everything, everyone have their own purpose. You have your purpose, she have his purpose, him have his purpose, every one of us have our own purpose, and that is what will become one. So yes, we mightn't, sometimes we tell ourselves that certain thing is too hard for us. But something might be hard for us to do. But then sometimes it does become a time when, because we believe it was too hard to do, then now something occur, now the job become twice as hard or even triple times harder. So sometimes we got to try to prevent things from happening. So growing your food, you ain't have to grow your food and expect them to come big and humongous. You don't have to see that. They could be small, but they're full of nutrition. You see what I'm saying? They could be small and they're full of nutrition. So don't worry about the size sometimes. Don't worry about the size. They could be full of nutrition, even though they're small. So don't tell yourself you gotta run out there and put a whole heap of things around them for make them look big. Grow them, let them grow natural. You keep preparing the soil natural for them every fall. Just keep preparing the soil every fall, and you're gonna see what's gonna happen. Keep packing your soil with leaf. It doesn't matter if you're doing it in a container. Always add a few leaf. Always add like the weeds that you pull out your soil. Put it in an area and just let it resolve. Let it be. Let it continue. Feed in your soil. Okay. Don't get discouraged at all, and don't break your courage, because like I keep saying, there's a lot of distraction out there. There's a lot of different type of stuff out there, but I'm not sure if I'm not interested in them. That's all I can say. I'm not interested because I'm not using them. I'm not even trying. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you are a gardener, if you are a gardener and you're trying to grow food the way you want to grow, if you, number one, you got to figure out how you want to grow your food. That's number one. You got to figure out how you want to grow your food. Hey, good night, the word of God and God. And how you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Yes, one thing I will say to the new gardeners, if you are a new gardener and you're planning on start growing your own food, first you need to think about how do you want to grow your food and what type of food you want to grow. Oh, this is really important. How do you want to grow your food and what type of food you want to grow? Do you want to grow your food natural or you want to grow your food as whatever? Or you don't care. You just want to grow some food. It's important to know that. And then you focus on how you want to grow your food and just pay attention. There's people you could follow, that can help you out. But you got to be disciplined to yourself and you got to stay focused. Because if you don't do that, you could get discouraged, you could get distracted from what you want to do. Okay, so if you want to grow natural, focus on people who could help you grow natural. If you want to grow with chemicals, then you choose that kind. You see what I'm saying? But in order for you to excel fast, you have to be focused because there's so much information out there. Sometimes, it could mislead you. It could always discourage you as well. Then we also have ways of we like to grow our garden without not everybody. Some people, like someone tell me they spend like $500. I'm not spending that. I'm growing my garden natural and saving a bunch of money every year. I'm not trying to spend no $500 and $600 in no garden and then you can't get no production. So there's people who wanna encourage you to spend a bunch of money in expensive containers and all these type of stuff. And at the end of the day, the money adds up. So I prefer growing natural, spending less money, use what I have, use whatever container I have. I'm a mostly in-ground gardener, but I also do container garden. I'm not trying to go out and spend $30 on a container. I'm not doing that. Once a container size is big enough for the plant, I'm okay with that. It ain't got to be an expensive container. And this is what a lot of people promoting. You looking at the fancy containers. Listen to me. I'm not in for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you what to do. You do what you want to do. But I'm talking for myself. I'm not spending all that type of money in containers. Okay? And at the end of the day, my garden always produce in abundance. All right? So I just want to say, guys, thank you all for coming out tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that like button. Thank you all for all your support. Thank you all so much. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Happy gardening. Be productive. Be positive. Let the positivity flow within you. Push the negativity away from yourself. In this life today, We got to focus on being positive and being humble. Nothing is promising to anyone but go leaving this body. You can have everything today and you know what could happen tomorrow. So let's just be positive, be humble, motivate someone, give someone a call today and motivate them. Tell your family, tell your kids how much you love them. All right? Because nothing is promising. All right? Don't wait until they go on to cry and say how much you did love them. Tell the people you love today how much you love them and how much you care for them. At least you let them know. Because sometimes in life you have these things and you're not saying it, and then somebody might be waiting to hear it out your mouth. You see, like some kids, some kids will say, "Oh, you never tell me you love me." You hear they tell their parents that. Don't be one of them. Always tell them how much you love them, whether they're big, whether they're small. Let them know that you care, so they you see, sometimes tell them. Sometimes the action, sometimes you have so much to do. You have your bills to pay, you got to go to work, you have all this. It's hard for you to show it to them. So at least let them know. Let them know you love them and you care about them. Don't wait until something happens to tell them that, okay? So I just want to say that, guys. You guys have a good night. Peace, love, and blessing to each and everyone. Good night.